Welcome back. Here's more on the EDB's latest report. Singapore attracted more in fixed asset investment commitments in 2025 than the previous year. But the number of new jobs created is expected to dip. And for more, we're joined by Mr. Jermaine Loy, who is the Managing Director of EDB. Jermaine, good to have you with us.
Angela, thank you for having me. Well, certainly 2025 was a challenging year. It was a volatile year. And it certainly made our job in terms of investment promotion much harder. But if you look at our results, I think our results are very much on par with that of previous years. And many of these investments are in areas where we have built up strong capabilities over the years. Advanced manufacturing, HQ services, digital space, but also in new growth areas like in precision medicine, in AI, in the green economy.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually, when we talk about the numbers here, $14 billion in investment commitments, but we're also expecting 15,700 jobs. That's a lot lower than most people would expect. So why is this the case?
Well, as I was saying, many of these investments are in areas where we develop strong capabilities in. 16,000, yes, we expect to create about 16,000 jobs from the investment commitments. I should clarify first that these are projected commitments, and given the uncertain environment, it was not surprising that companies were cautious in some of their hiring projections. At the same time, there were structural shifts to higher degree of automation, technology across the industries. But at the same time, we're not just looking at the top line. We're looking at the quality of the jobs. And these are, from the 16,000 jobs, we see good quality, good jobs in areas like advanced manufacturing and services, in R&D. And these are the kind of good jobs and opportunities that we want to continue to anchor. And that's where our focus really is.
Yeah, I want to pick up on what you said as well about the quality of the jobs, right? So the number of jobs are going to go down, but also it's going to be more specialized. So are Singaporeans equipped with the right skills to fill these very specialized roles?
Well, we work very closely with our industry partners, with the universities, with the various government agencies to prepare our workforce, make sure we stay relevant, make sure we are prepared for the future jobs. And for instance, at the EDB, we work with our companies, we train in advance, we facilitate industrial attachments, facilitate internships, and we're going to have to do a lot more of these. Yes, sometimes there will be specialized skills that we may not have in the near term, and so we may have to bring in some specialized skills from outside. But this is very much the view to build up the local sector, build up the local talent, and to build up the local pipeline eventually over time. Now, beyond skills, it's also about preparing Singaporeans to take up leadership position in these global companies. And that's where we have good programs in place, like the Singapore Leaders Network, to prepare promising Singaporeans, provide them with leadership experience, global exposure, and build up the strong industry network. Ultimately, it's about strengthening the competitiveness of our workforce, create good jobs and opportunities, so that Singaporeans can grow alongside our economy.
Yeah, so clearly there's some safeguards in place. But also, you've been in this role for about a year now. What would you say are some of the biggest downside risks that you anticipate might come up? And also, how is EDB preparing for all that?
Well, we expect the uncertainty to continue. We expect the headwinds to continue to be there. But there are also opportunities ahead. And we're not starting from scratch. We've built up strengths and capabilities over the years. And so we really must double down on existing sectors that we have developed good capabilities in. Semiconductors, biopharma, aerospace, for instance. And we have to do and step up more to attract companies from growth sectors and also from emerging technologies of the future. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we remain a hub, not just for the top global companies of today, but also for the fast-growing companies of tomorrow. Right? And if we can do all these well, that puts us in a strong position to navigate the challenges ahead and continue to secure growth for Singapore.
Yeah, and speaking of being this hub, then how do you think, or what do you think are the next set of growth engines for Singapore? What should we really be focusing on to leverage on our advantages?
We have a strong, diverse range of industry sectors, strong innovation, R&D ecosystem, strong talent pipeline. And so it provides us a good base to really pursue growth sectors, whether it's in precision medicine or AI. For instance, in precision medicine, we have companies like Illumina, like ChemLex, which have brought in their global R&D facilities. These are top-of-the-range advanced facilities into Singapore. Or the AI space too, it's vibrant, it's growing. 2 years ago, we had OpenAI come. More recently, we had Google DeepMind. We had Microsoft Research Asia, all coming in here. Newer players too, like you just saw earlier, Tomorrow AI, Wokato, tapping on our tech talent, building up the customer base here. And all these provide new opportunities, new capabilities, but more importantly, new jobs and opportunities. And that's what we have to continue to do, continue to pursue some of these growth sectors so that we remain relevant and competitive in the years ahead.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming in today and sharing your insights with us, Jermaine. I've been speaking with Mr. Jermaine Loy, who is MD at EDB.